Assalamualaikum and a very good day I wish to all of you. Welcome to our forum for this week. As we all know, modern technology is a current big issue which enable you to think about the topics that we had highlighted, and we are trying to solve an interesting idea and thought which will be delivered by our guests. Today, we would like to highlight a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed on, which is gadgets in the classroom are a distraction, not a solution. I am sure that every one of us has our own opinion and thought with this topic. Before we proceed to our forum, I would like to introduce our panelists for today. Our first panelist is Alia Sofea binti Mohammad Izaham. How are you today, Alia?
I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next to her is our specially panel 2, Nurul Najwa binti Mohammad Sabri. How are you today, Najwa?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Najwa. Okay, before we start our forum in details, let me explain about our topic today. In following the current of modernity, it is undeniable that our daily lives are very dependent on technological development. Likewise, in the field of learning environment, as we all know, one of the alternatives to getting knowledge in the field of learning environment is the use of gadget. We cannot deny that this gadget can positively affect our lives. But are gadgets in the classroom is a necessity? The use of electronic devices in education has altered how learners interact with educational resources and communicate with their teachers. The presence of gadgets such as mobile devices, desktop, and other technological gadgets via educational settings has sparked debate and discussion about their impact on how that these devices have a possibility of educational process, growing evidence as distractions, undermining the very process they are intended to enhance. Also, some argue that this tool can be a distraction and not a solution in the educational field, while others believe that when used appropriately, they can enhance the learning experience. In the following discussion, we shall delve into both perspectives, examining the multifaceted role of electronical devices in the classroom and shedding light on the complexity of this technological infusion into the field of education. And on our title from the first invited panel 1. Time, let's hear the opinion on our title from the first invited panel 1.
As for me, I want to emphasize that gadgets in the classroom are a distraction. One of the issues created by devices in the educational setting is reducing student focus and commitment. This gadget is not only an educational tool, but it is also a powerful portal to the world of digital, hosting various content that will disturb them. For instance, social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, messaging apps, and games that are easily accessible make the students lose concentration on the learning material. When there are devices in the educational setting, there is a very high potential for students to access other websites that they say are more interesting than their learning material. They prefer to access entertainment rather than focus on learning material, which is sometimes boring. Students also dare to visit other interesting websites because their teachers will not know if they open anything other than the learning materials in front of the class. As a result, they will not be punished. The results of research consistently support the idea that Gadgets in the classroom reduce attention and concentration. Research published in educational psychology, for example, discovered that students who use non-academic gadgets during lectures did badly on tests and reported lower levels of learning. We can see from this example that the presence of these devices can severely impair the learning environment and students' ability to interact with the subject matter. In addition to disrupting students' concentration, the presence of electronic devices in the classroom has raised concerns about potential physical health consequences. Extended use of electronic devices such as computers and smartphones can lead to a range of health issues, including eye strain. Prolonged periods of close-range attention can cause the eye muscles to spasm and prevent them from fully relaxing, ultimately resulting in difficulties in focusing on distant objects. This eye strain can be uncomfortable and distracting for students, making it difficult for them to concentrate on the learning material. Furthermore, the use of electronic gadgets often promotes poor body posture and a sedentary lifestyle. Students who spend hours hunched over screens, whether it's a smartphone or a laptop, are more likely to experience adverse physical effects. For instance, looking at the phone while the head tilted down can add extra weight and stress to the neck, leading to discomfort and potential long-term issues. This posture can also cause muscle spasms and result in neck, shoulder, or back pain, causing physical discomfort that students may experience in the classroom. As a result, these physical health concerns may become a focal point of students' attention, diverting them from their primary task of learning. It's not uncommon for students to become more preoccupied with their physical discomfort or health worries than with the educational material at hand. The cumulative consequences of these cognitive and physical limitations are significant, as they not only hinder the educational process but also prevent students from realizing their full learning potential. The use of mobile phones will mentally disrupt the students. This is due to the fact that pupils who cannot afford to purchase any device would feel inferior and left behind. Some students may believe that owning this device is a sign of wealth. Some parents who can afford it buy their children's mobile phones. The mentality of showing off and showing off to peers fosters unhealthy competitiveness and denigrates less capable students. This will upset the emotions of students who are unable to do so, causing them to be unable to pay complete attention when the teacher is teaching. To keep up with their peers, some adolescents may be inclined to lie to their parents in order to receive extra pocket money. Worse, there are kids who are willing to miss class in order to obtain a part-time job in order to save money to buy devices to compete with their buddies. This will cause the student to fall significantly behind in his or her learning and will contribute to exam failure. As a result, the family bond will suffer. If their children receive poor exam results, their parents will undoubtedly be dissatisfied. The parents tend to exhibit their anger, which disrupts their children's emotions and causes them to rebel in order to vent their frustrations. We can see from this that using electronics in the classroom would cause numerous problems. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Alia Sofia. From your explanation, you strongly agree that the use of gadgets in the classroom are a distraction. Okay, let's move to Nurul Najwa. What is your opinion?
Today, now I will continue with the solution of using gadgets in the classroom. Somehow, the use of gadgets in the classroom not only indicates a distraction in the classroom, but can also be highly advantageous for those who know how to utilize them properly. To further strengthen my statement, the students can easily obtain information for their schoolwork as these gadgets are fitted with internet access. They can easily get all the information at the tip of their fingertips without flipping through a book, which will consume a lot of time. For instance, teachers can use the YouTube app to engage students in interactive learning. This is because there is a wide range of material that has been posted in the form of videos that can draw students in and get them to concentrate on a single subject. Because of this, students can because of this, students can study independently at home by utilizing the online learning resources. Mobile phone users can therefore benefit from making effective use of them, particularly students. Furthermore, students will be able to access material from anywhere and at any time without restriction or interference. Even with the use of more sophisticated devices, such as smartphones, students can store as much information as possible with large storage facilities. The advantages of these gadgets can be widely felt because the pandemic problem in our country has increased the use of gadgets. Indirectly, gadgets are not seen as gaming devices only, but include a larger and wider scope. Therefore, the efficient use of mobile phone can have positive implications for their users, especially among students. Next, devices may boost pupil participation throughout the educational experiences. If used in the right way, such devices can transform education into a fascinating and dynamic experience. The core concept is the fact that gadgets may be used to capture pupils' interest while keeping students interested in a topic. Standard methods of teaching can be challenging to engage pupils, especially when dealing with challenging ideas. Meanwhile, devices provide a dynamic and interesting educational setting. Among these are educational software. It is a learning-oriented software program. They often convey information in the form of games. For instance, there are applications to learn math studying through a virtual timeline. These applications can make education more dynamic and enjoyable because they enable pupils to actively participate and frequently receive immediate feedback. Additionally, gadgets can make studying enjoyable through combining gadgets and teaching applications. When pupils have fun while studying, they have a greater probability to be engaged, motivated, and open to exploring new topics. Furthermore, these gadgets give user permission to use multimedia materials such as educational films, animations, and simulations. These engaging and graphical components may put complex or abstract concepts to life, which make them easy for people to understand. Learning may be made clearly. Learning may be made clear. It's aside from that, it might serve as the primary students and teachers. This will make it easier for students to communicate with teachers even when they are not in the same room. This option should be used as much as possible by pupils because communicating in the past was difficult and time-consuming. Students can use their mobile phones to contact a friend or teacher if they are having difficulty completing an assignment or do not understand something. As the saying goes, if there is a will, there is a way. An example from my own experience is that when I was taking the most important examination in Malaysia, the SPM, it was extremely difficult for me to reach out to my teachers at midnight because I was a boarding school student. But with permission to use gadgets in my school, it allowed me to ask questions to my teachers at any time. As a result, I passed the examination with flying colors. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nurul Najwa, for the outstanding explanation. So, from your explanation, I guess you strongly agree that the use of gadgets in the classroom are a solution. So, for me, to summarize, I support the use of gadget in the classroom. Why? Because it becomes apparent that if correctly applied to the subject of teaching, gadgets have the ability to turn the process of learning into an innovative and fascinating activity. They respond to the different learning preferences and styles of today's pupils by providing gadgets for interactivity as well as accessibility to a wide range of materials. Academic programs, extensive digital resources, and immersive multimedia materials can assist in making difficult topics simple to study as well as enjoyable. This technological advancement offers an opportunity, a chance to allow instructors to create better dynamic and productive classroom for their pupils. Nevertheless, it is critical that we recognize and manage distraction and possible vulnerabilities connected with educational electronics. While devices like this offer the ability to improve educational quality, it also brings two problems in terms of fostering focus and reducing issues such as cheating and health risk. We must strike an agreement among adopting technological while maintaining an ongoing educational atmosphere. Finally, the employment of technology in the classroom has both advantages and disadvantages. Educators may tap into their full potential by using them strategically, responsibly, and adaptably, ensuring they remain a meaningful tool for learning rather than a mere diversion. To realize the promise of gadgets in education, it is critical to balance the allure of technology with a dedication to a focused and productive learning environment. So, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we come to the end of the forum discussion. I would like to say thanks to both of the panel members for the interesting discussion. Also to all of the audience for your active participation. Hopefully, the forum will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum and good night.